You know, let's just say it. Raw was trash. Raw was trash. Raw had its moments. And I'm not even going to say Raw had its moments. Raw had like 2 moments. Other than that, Raw was just sad, you know. And I'm going to try to go segment by segment, but man, it's really hard to go segment by segment with this trash ass Raw. Man, but we started out with Rhea Ripley, and literally Rhea only came out there to get a pop. So Rhea got her cheap pop with her music, and basically Rhea's just saying, oh, I'm the best, and she's done with the Judgment Day. Thank goodness. Hopefully this was Rhea basically saying, you know, no more Rhea versus Judgment Day. You know, her and Raquel would probably have been the best outcome to end this Rhea and Judgment Day feud. Because to be honest, it wouldn't have been Rhea versus Liv. I know they had some history, but to be honest, Rhea and Raquel had more history than Rhea and Liv. So that being a street fight, and it was good, you know, I'm not mad with that. Now, Io comes out there, and we're like, okay, why wasn't Io on Night of Champions or doing anything else? But Io is the champion, and she went out to challenge Rhea. That is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. What champion goes out there and challenges someone who didn't win Queen of the Ring, never won anything to even remotely say, hey, you deserve a title shot? But the booking is so stupid. Triple H loves Rhea, so he has to put her in this main event type thing all the time. Now, this is for Evolution. I'm not going to say no one cares about Evolution, but WWE is only doing this to try to combat some AEW stuff. That's the only reason. Next, we got Finn Balor and JD versus the New Day. Now, I must say, this match was okay. I can't say this match deserves to be on Night of Champions. And I honestly see why. Because this wasn't a PLES match. It wasn't, we get mad because title matches aren't on PLEs. This match did not deserve to be on Night of Champions was a B+, almost a PLE. And this match right here would have just dragged it down. I'm sorry. But this match was okay. It was a Raw match. The titles changed. The Judgment Day got more titles. And I've been hearing for over months and months and months, the Judgment Day is done. Finn's gonna turn on Dominic. It don't look like Finn about to turn on Dominic because they just won the tag team titles. So, they're gonna defend that for another year. Maybe even 2. But Dominic might lose his title, but I honestly doubt it. I don't think AJ is going to lose to Dominic. Maybe, but I doubt it. But This match was okay. You know, the New Day did their stuff. The biggest thing about this match that made it good was the false finishes because the belt was on the line. So, if I had to rate this match just off of pure wrestling, I'll give it a B. But storyline behind this, you know, D, because there was no story behind this. I'm sorry, there was no story behind this. Like, we didn't even care that this match was on the card. Next, we had Rusev versus Sheamus. Now, this match was good. You know, you had two big guys wrestling a big guy match. You know, that's something we don't see all the time. And great, because we didn't get a million super kicks. You know, we didn't get a million flips. You know, it was honestly a different style of match. And let me just say this. Rusev and Sheamus actually wrestled better than Cody and Randy's match and Cody's and Cena's match. And this was on Raw. So honestly, I have no complaints about Sheamus versus Rusev. I'll give this match a B. And I love the way it ended. Guess how they ended the match? You know. So Rusev uncovers a strap on the turnbuckle, pulls Sheamus into it. Sheamus gets hit by it. And then Rusev capitalizes off that, hits his finishing move, and 1, 2, 3. That's how you do that spot. I don't know if they were trying to throw shade at Orton and Cody, like saying like this is how you do a spot, maybe, but it worked, and it was better. You know, I give this match a B. I would give it an A, but some spots was a little slower. You know what? I'll give this match an A. I'm gonna do it because it was two big guys. It was different. I can't even say what was, you know, compared to it. But I will say, no interference, no running in, no ref getting knocked out. Just two guys going at it. A. Now, Gunther. He comes out. He gets his little spiel about how he's going to beat Goldberg, blah, blah, blah. I actually like Gunther's promos. I do. And he gets the crowd going. I ain't gonna lie. It starts off, you know, slow, but then when you start listening to what he's saying, he actually, you know, riles the crowd up and gets some heat. You know, he's not the best talker, but you know, Gunther's a villain. You know, he's a villain. And honestly, you know, he's a good heel, but at the same time, it's like, bruh, like, you don't look that intimidating, but you're a heel. And Gunther throws shots, and he doesn't really take even just super low blows, you know. Gunther honestly was just out there saying, like, you know what, I'm the biggest bully, and at the end of the day, I'm going to say, you're next or something. That isn't great, and it gets over because it's like, what the hell? Like, his promos are so bad that they're good. You know, then Seth comes out there, ha 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 ha, you know, and Gunther's like what you doing out here? You failed. Like, you came all this way just to fail, you know, and he's right. But Seth is basically saying, like, hey, I could cash in on you. But he came out there to really say he went to Saudi Arabia to make sure CM Punk never wins another championship. Oh, Lord, we're getting Seth versus CM Punk again. Wait, LA Knight isn't hurt indefinitely anymore, and now LA Knight versus Seth, Saturday Night Main Event. Okay, I'll take that match. Seth versus LA Knight. It's a mix-up. I love it. I love it. Let's do it. But guess what? We're gonna get a million interferences, a million distractions on that match. Whatever, I'm here for it. Okay, I'm here for it. Let's set that up. I think it's gonna be okay. Then we get Becky versus Lyra. This match, I'm gonna give it a C. And the reason it gets a C is because how many times do we really get a match that's a draw? Now, if I'm actually looking at this, it looks like, they're saying both of their shoulders were down. But, it looks like if we had to go about it, it's a roll-up pin, but I guess Lyra's shoulders wasn't supposed to be down. Like, if her shoulders weren't down, Lyra would win. It's a stupid finish, but it's a good finish at the same time because it's like, okay, where do we go from here? Like, nothing changed. It's one of those, things to progress the storyline that no one cares about. Like, damn, no one cares about this storyline. Like, why isn't Bayley, like, fighting Io or doing something with her or doing something with Damage Control? Like, I'm pretty sure there aren't Damage Control anymore, but, they could talk about it. This is just stupid. No one asked for it. Bayley just asked for your release and head over there with Mercedes Moné, and y'all could be a little faction or just get your just due. That's what you have to do. Like, I know you want to help the younger talent out in WWE, but hey, if WWE isn't putting you on the posters and they're not treating you with respect, Becky Lynch instantly comes back and she's on posters. Bayley, just leave. Just leave. Please. You don't have to go to NXT to get on a poster. Just leave. Go to AEW. Do about 5 years in AEW and retire, and sail off into the sunset. But we love Bayley. But WWE doesn't love Bayley. Okay? Next, we get the match. Well, we know we had some vignettes and stuff right there. No, we don't even care about that nonsense, okay? We don't care about these dumb vignettes. I guess we could talk about Karrion Kross attacking Sami Zayn. Okay. Karrion Kross attacks Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn supposedly gets medical attention. And Sami Zayn still teams up with Penta to fight Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Now, Sami Zayn gets attacked with a pipe, gets taped up ribs, and yet he still fights as if he doesn't have an injury. Now, hold on. Sami Zayn plays into the injury like he's hurt. So you see the pain on his face, but he's still fighting through it like nothing happened. Why in the hell wasn't this a squash match? And Sami Zayn could have just been the one that's like, oh my goodness, I'm so hurt, I can't really fight back. But Sami Zayn suplexed Bronson Reed. How? But Jey Uso gets defeated by Gunther with, a rib injuries or whatever, like not 100%. If Sami Zayn can go through this match while being attacked the same day by Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn could beat Gunther. Sami Zayn is like Super Saiyan 3 still with a broken rib or whatever his midsections hurt. So essentially, you buried Karrion Kross because he attacked Sami Zayn and it had no effect on him. And why did Karrion Kross even do this? And Sami Zayn was still able to go out there, perform, hit kicks, kick out on, 2.5s and do all these flips with Penta. What was the point of the attack? Why not have Sami Zayn get attacked and then, Sami Zayn can't compete. Guess who's Penta's partner? Jey Uso. So you telling me y'all wouldn't want to see Jey Uso and Penta team up versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed? No. Jey Uso comes out there after Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed win with a chair. And why is Jey Uso involved in this? Why was Jey Uso coming out to help Sami Zayn and Penta when you had LA Knight and you had Seth Rollins out there? Why didn't Seth Rollins, do something? Or why didn't CM Punk or LA Knight both run out there and try to stop him? You send Jey Uso to get tied up with this nonsense. Jey Uso should be focusing on trying to get back the title from Gunther after this Goldberg stuff. I mean, Raw is trash. Raw is horrible. Raw is a money grab. Raw had 1 million commercials. Raw had more commercials than I think they ever had. Ever. Literally, the match, I think it was Sheamus versus Rusev, and they had like 3 or 4 ad breaks, bro. Like, it's getting... Raw on Netflix is failing. Some days I can tolerate Raw, but man, this is horrible. This is horrible. To say y'all had a banger of a pay-per-view. A banger of pay-per-view Night of Champions. Why was Raw so horrible? And I have a theory. Y'all not gonna like this theory, but New Day lost their titles. I'm pretty sure the Street Profits will lose their titles next. There you have it. Like, I'm done watching Raw on the same day it airs. I probably try to skip through it, try to get to it for y'all, but this video is like 20 minutes long. I'm gonna post it. No one's gonna watch it. Like, because it's over 20 minutes, but I just want to rant and give my thoughts on it. And man, this Raw, like I said, it had like 2 highlights. Man, this Raw was a D+. Despite Sheamus and them having a good match, this was a D+ Raw. Like, I would fail this Raw. And it's not the wrestler's fault. This WWE have great wrestlers. It's the creative's fault. That's really who's to blame here. It's the creative's fault. If you can't make 5-star matches, I'm gonna say 3 to 5-star matches every single week with this roster, you suck. That's all I have to say. You suck. You literally have, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Asuka. You have, Sami Zayn carrying Cross. You have Penta. You have Jey Uso. You have LA Knight. Like, I'm not about to name this whole roster, but you could go look up the roster. Those guys have great in-ring ability, and you can't put 3 to 5 star matches on every week. Like, they don't even wrestle dark matches anymore. You can't get them to choreograph some awesome matches. This has to be stopped. We know Triple H isn't getting fired, but this has to be stopped. And that's all I gotta say.